They're getting production. Tommy Pham is like the heart and soul of the Mets right now. Like, give it up for Tommy Pham.
Somebody's got to step up.
What is good, Pham? Like, he is
Somebody's
killing it.
Somebody's got to step up.
You know, I was at the game a few weeks ago with a good friend of his, and she was the only one in the history of Metsland to have a shirt with his face on it. And since then, he's been going off. So shout out to Tommy Pham. But that's a problem. That is a big problem. One of the hearts and soul of the lineup is Tommy Pham. And when Francisco Lindor is batting 210, 200, like, these guys are going to pick it up with Pete out, because if the starters are going to be this bad, you're going to have to score more than the other. I think that's how baseball works.
There's just too many things that are going wrong, right? Drew Smith walking into the game and getting thrown out before he even throws a pitch, that's a huge thing, because Drew Smith was already rattled. We knew this about Drew Smith. If you look at Drew Smith on the season, throwing his fastball, the league is batting $150 against his fastball, but he chooses to keep throwing his slider, which the league is batting over 800 against. His curveball, they're batting 1,000 off his curveball. I don't know a lot of math, but I do know that's not good math. So use your fastball more. Pitch to contact the way that he was doing. He was getting ground balls and weak fly balls. But for some reason, he went out there. And listen, in my heart of hearts, do I think he had something extra on there? I don't know. But I can tell you this. I know I'm struggling. My slider's not sliding. The breaking ball's not breaking. You got to do something a little bit extra. And what happens is he goes in there with maybe a little extra something from the bullpen, grab the rosin right before he finishes. It's fresh on his hands. He goes out there. You're going to throw 8 warm-up pitches. It wears off a little bit, eat every one of those pitches, right? But they checked them before, and they don't normally do that, right? They're trying to be a little more random with it. And I think that was the big surprise to everybody. It was like, he didn't even throw a pitch. Why are you checking him? Because they're trying to make it a little bit more random. It happened to Herman when he got his suspension. It was in between innings that they checked him, which he came out of the dugout after he has his own rosin bag in the dugout, and they let him know that's a no-no. You can't do that. So the Mets have been tagged for it. 4 of the 5 suspensions this year have been Mets. 2 in the big leagues, 2 in the minor leagues in AAA that have been suspended for 10 games for the rosin. So something's got to give. Buck Showalter had complained. Well, he didn't complain. He just said he knows math because he was taught math by Mrs. Little when he was a kid. And it just doesn't add up that it's always Mets players that are being suspended. So they're being watched very closely. And when somebody like Scherzer gets suspended and doesn't fight it, who's Drew Smith to try and fight that suspension? He's just going to have to wear that one. And, you know, they're going to be watching him from here on out.